are we on? We're on Thursday. I'm that knackered. I forget what day it is. Anyway, I've come on to chat to you guys about what I've been up to. So I'm sure you're all dying to know what I've been volunteering at. Now, I'm pretty sure 90% of you are going to never have heard of this. And I'm pretty sure the 90% of you that haven't heard of it are going to download the app and start using it. Right? Because I never heard of this until somebody on my estate posted a little post saying that they had all this food and did anybody want any, and to download this app and just request it. And I was like, what's this all about then? Well, it's absolutely friggin' marvellous, this app. This app is not a food bank. It's not something you go to just if you've... Oh my God, my eyes. That's from not sleeping. Oh, yeah, this app. Oh my God. I should stop and do it later. I'm going to be knackered tonight as well because I'm doing this tonight. Right. This app is not, it's not like a food bank. Like I said, it's not something you go to just if you have, you're finding things hard. Anyone can use this app, whether you're the richest person in the world. Not that if you were the richest person in the world, you probably wouldn't bother. But do you know what I mean? I'm just basically trying to say anyone can use this app. Anyone. Absolutely anyone. So I started off being one of the people that would go and collect a couple of bits, right? So I had a couple of sandwiches from there. I had a couple of pastries for the kids, a couple of bits for my mum, a couple of ready meals, things like that. Now, this is called oleo, or oleo, or however you want to say it. I call it oleo, but I've heard people saying oleo. That's what the little symbol looks like when you download the app. It is so easy. You download the app, you verify your mobile number, and away you go. All you do is say somebody who's a volunteer, they will go to the place where they pick the food up from, which is something you decide what you want to do, but I'll come to that now. So they go and get their stuff, right? You go and pick it all up, you stick it all in your car. Sometimes you have to do more than one trip if you've only got a car. So far, touch wood, I've managed to get it all in. I've taken Warren's car, it's bigger. Dexter, love him, comes with me to do the collections because he loves it. He takes Charles, he puts his high-vis jacket on and he comes with me. So we pick the food up, we come home, and then straight away we got to start listing the use-by dates. So you will get a variety of things. It's stuff that hasn't been sold that needs to be either, well, technically they would throw it out. And all this food would then go into landfill. So this app was set up, and I do believe it's been going for a few years because some of the people that I talk to on there, look at their profiles, and they've been registered for like 2019 and stuff. So it must have been around a while. So yeah, so anything with a use by date of the date I pick it up, I have to get rid of that by midnight. Nobody can come and pick that up after midnight. It's got to go. So I would need to either keep that and eat it or discard it, whatever, but I'm not allowed to give that on to anyone. So best before dates then, like the bread, the pastries, things like that, you can list for a couple of days, because the best before date means that it's at its best on the date it says, but it's still okay for quite a few days after. Like, you wouldn't throw away a packet of rolls just because it had today's date on it. You wouldn't think, oh, well, date's gone on them. You'd eat them until they went furry sort of thing, or hard. Well, I would anyway. As long as they haven't got black spots and they're not gone like a bullet, they're edible, So, yeah, so I pick the food up I go on the volunteer, but I had to do online training. You can't just say, right, I'll come to Tesco and pick it up. You do online training. It's quite easy. It's just watching a variety of videos. You've got to fill out questions, answer them correctly, food hygiene questions, and you're away. Now, when I first signed up, there wasn't any collections in my area that were worth doing. There was like a one-stop, and I thought, oh, I'm not bothering with that. And then somebody had skipped, because you get a permanent slot, and then if you're busy that day and you can't do it, you can skip it. And then when you skip it, it goes into this bucket, and then all the other volunteers can see what's in this bucket or basket, and they think, oh, I'll do that one, and they'll take that slot then and do a one-off. So you're not committed, like if you've got something on, or like I'm going to a party next Saturday, so I'm not going to be able to do my Saturday collection, so I will skip that one. So yeah, I've managed to get 3 slots a week, and I've done a couple of randoms where someone skipped, so I've taken them. However, day before yesterday, I decided I would try a big Tesco, because at the moment I'm doing the expresses. I thought I'd do a Tesco extra. Jesus friggin' Nora, that was the day I never ended my video, and I went to bed at nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. I know I stay up all night and I don't sleep, but when you're made to stay up, it's different than when you just want to stay up. My door was constant. I'm surprised the battery in my Ring doorbell hasn't gone. I even went out to Home Bargains and I bought a big grey box with a clip lid, a roll of stickers and some bags, because it was just mental. I didn't know, like I said the other day, if I was having a shit shower or a friggin' haircut. I was just like, right, had all these people's bags lined up, names on them I was just like, oh, what's car alarm going on out there? Is that my car? No. Yeah, so it was just crazy, absolute crazy. I've got a big massive box next to me on my sofa full of bread and rolls. There's a woman coming round now, and I have got 2 humongous bags of new potatoes on my puffy over there, because someone's coming around to get a few bags of them. Anything that is obviously manky, you wouldn't list, but they don't give you, I haven't had anything manky as yet, but some of the fruit and that I've had, it's been a bit, but when you list it, you just say, like, say apples. The potatoes I had, they got really big roots on them, but they're still hard and edibles. You just need to take the root off. Or if you've got someone with an allotment, they'd be good for, you know, using for growing new more potatoes. So nothing goes to waste. So the whole point of this app is food prevention waste. So you're preventing the food going into landfill. Now, I'm on a volunteers page on this forum, and somebody on Boxing Day went to Tesco to do their collection, and they worked it out when they got home that what they'd collected was over £2,000 worth of food that they then redistributed out to people who wanted it. Now, that £2,000 worth of stuff would have potentially been gone into landfill. So I think it's a really good idea, because I was very naive. I didn't really even think about landfill situations. I didn't think about food waste. I am quite wasteful when I go shopping, and I go shopping a lot because I do like a shop. So I said to Warren, look, I said, why don't we do this, Olio? I can have a couple of bits from it, because the perk of being the volunteer is you are allowed 10% of what you collect. However, so far on my collections, I think I've kept hardly anything. My willpower in that is here. There's so many pastries and that on there. You could just sit there and go to bloody town, I tell you. There's croissants with almond fillings, there's panna chocolates, Portuguese tarts, Danish pastries, cookies, stuff like that. Like, the kids have had a couple of things. We've had a couple of things. Like, Warren had a Tesco Finest chicken curry for his lunch the other day. That was one thing I kept, but I haven't kept hardly anything. Like, you can't become a volunteer and think to yourself, oh, I'm going to go and get all that food and keep it. I won't have to buy any food. That's not what it's about. It's about helping people that might need a bit extra food, because times are hard at the moment. There's so many families that are struggling. They get their money at the start of the week. By the end of the week or by the middle of the week, they haven't got money left to buy a loaf of bread. Well, this is where Olio, you know, is fantastic. If you're really, really struggling, right, and you don't mind knocking someone's door, a lot of people will do contact free. I'll do contact free because I bought the box. So if anyone is a bit nervous, like they're like, oh, I don't like to do that, I don't like to knock someone's door, I feel embarrassed, whatever, all they've got to say to me is, can you leave it outside? And I leave it in the box. I put their name on it and then they just come and pick it up. I picked up a couple of sandwiches off someone because the kids had them for their packed lunch, and she said to me, oh, it'll be in a box for you outside. That's where I got the idea of getting the box. It's fantastic. Somebody wanted to pick something up for me at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, yeah, it'll be in the box outside. Yeah. However, I've got to run tonight. So I will take you along with me on my run. I'm going to slightly further afield, Tesco's, in a place called Cowbridge. I did think, because I've got an electric car, it's not going to cost me as much to get there, because they don't cover your fuel costs as a volunteer. You literally can just keep a few things from what you get. And they do monitor. They monitor your messages, I think, and they monitor what you're actually listing, because when you select the shop you're going to pick up from, you get put into this group and you get a squad captain. And because a couple of the listings I've got came up to say, like tonight now, my tonight's collection on the app shows it's for tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, but it's not, and they can't override the system apparently. It's actually 8:30 tonight. So the computer doesn't recognize it, so it'll come up to say that I picked up nothing and I've listed nothing. So I went on to this squad captain and said, I've been working my butt off. I said, I've listed absolutely loads. I said, that looks like I haven't done anything. And he come back to me and he said, oh no, I can see everything you've listed. He said, just ignore it. It's a generated message, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, phew, because I didn't want him thinking, oh yeah, she's gone and picked up the stuff and kept it all. So, yeah, and then when you've been listing, it comes up either that morning or that night to say, just example, Karen picked up 274 items. She's listed 230 items and shared between 8 people. Comes up just something like that. And then other people in that squad can see what you've done. You can get kicked off of Olio, I think, because when I was waiting for my Tesco order, I was speaking to the security guards and they said that these people came in to do their collection and they had like 20 packets of beef and that, and they didn't list one packet, so they've obviously kept them. That's not what it's about. It's not about going and getting the food and keeping it all and using it and not letting anyone else have it. I'm all for this not going into landfill. Like I say, I like to do my shopping. However, if I can use what I've got in my freezer, because you can't get a feather in my freezer, they're full. If I can use what I've got in my freezer, have the odd thing from my volunteering work, I can probably reduce my shopping, by quite a bit. And reduce, landfill. So I'm going to do my collection tonight. Like I say, it's from a Tesco in Cowbridge, which isn't that far from me. If I get a bit of a rubbish collection and it's not worth my while going there, I might give up that slot, because you can unassign yourself at any time. So it's a permanent slot, so it's there as long as I want it. So I'm going to give it a go. If it's rubbishy things tonight, then I'll give it another go next week. And then if it's not very good, I'll unassign from that one. So I'm going to be listing foods on a Monday. So if any of you live near me, I'll be listing foods on a Monday from the 30th of January because I've managed to get an Iceland one. God help if it's all stuff that's got to go in the freezer. I'll be using my freezer in the garage. I'll be using my mum's freezer. But hopefully people will pick it up as soon as you list it. So I'm going to be doing an Iceland one. And I've got a Tesco in my local village on a Saturday night. And I've got a Monday night Tesco. No, I haven't. I said a lie there. I got a Monday night Iceland, a Saturday night, and a Thursday night Tesco. So, and you know what? I'm a very sociable person. People come to the door and collect, and I kid you not, I've made a few friends already, and I'm on the doorstep for like half hour on each one talking to them. It's mad. I have had the odd person that's come and just taken them, and you can tell they're just so grateful for the stuff, and it's really like, oh, you feel you know, you feel you're doing a good thing. I haven't really volunteered before. It's my first volunteer role, and I am an I'm an FWH, food waste hero. So I'm a hero. So yeah, I'm just sitting here for 5 minutes before somebody comes and knocks my door. There's 2 people coming. There's no way if I was working full time like I was before I could do it. I just wouldn't have enough hours in the day. You've obviously got to have room in your fridge to put things in, like the use by. You can't just have it sitting on the side. There's all like rules and regs, you know. But yeah, you can either become a hero, or you can just take advantage and do collections. I have seen a couple of stories online where people have done it, and there was one woman that said she was a volunteer and she spent £4 a week on shopping, and now she can do all these other things in her life because she's not spending all the money on shopping. And from my collection so far, I've got to say, how on earth does she do that? There's no way you could have, I think she was a family of 4 or 5. There's no way, unless she's doing collections every single day from the big stores, that you could completely live off it. I think she was saying she was just buying milk and something or other. So, yeah. I shall put a couple of pictures up. I think I saved a couple of pictures and a little video showing what I'd picked up, as in the amount. And I'll try and show a bit later when I'm doing my collection. But so far, Warren did say to me the other night, are you bored doing it yet? Have you had your 5 minutes? Because he was so against me doing it. Warren is quite antisocial, as in he's not I'm a people person. I'll talk to anyone. Never had a problem making friends in school. I'll talk to absolutely anyone and everyone. I'm always making friends with people when I'm out and stuff. It's bizarre. Anyway, what am I saying? I'm losing track. Yeah, I'm just I'm a friendly person. I'm a nice person, you know? Even if you hate me, I'm a nice person. But I do say I'm one of these people, right? I'm your best friend. I'll do anything for you. I'd literally come out 4 o'clock in the morning. If you rung me, you were stuck, I'd come and help you. But if you cross me, I'll kill you. Nah, I won't kill you. I'm one of them. I can't do it. Cross that line and cheese me off, I'll never bother with you again. I'm one of them, you know. There's no and I'm the most stubborn person ever. I never give in. And even when it's my fault and I've argued with Warren, he's the one that ends up saying sorry. You know, I'm really stubborn, but I'll do anything for anyone, anything. So yeah, I'm gonna do my collection tonight because he did. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. When Warren was dead against me doing it, because when I picked up the stuff and come back with this bag of free food that I'd got from the lady that advertised on the estate, he was like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, "Some free food," and he went, "Come on now, there's enough food here, blah, blah, blah." And then I was like, "Oh, it's only a couple of sandwiches for kids, whatever." And then I was like, "Oh, can I do it?" I said, "I'd love to be able to give people food and stuff." And he was like, "No." And it was a no, as in, don't you dare ask me again. And I was like, you serious? He went, Karen, you're not doing it. He said, I'm not having people come into the house and blah, 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 blah. I was like, yes, I don't know if you can tell. I'm not saying this in a sport way, but I do get my I do get my own way with Warren. Even if he says no, it ends up I work on him. I work on him. So this was before Christmas now. And then I said, oh, next day then, oh, please let me do that oleo. I said, I promise you don't have to do anything. Just let me do it. You're not doing it. I've told you you're not doing it. Don't get in it. And then Dexter's like, oh, let mum do it. Let her do it. I'll help her. Blah, blah, blah. You're not doing it. Right. I thought, right, I'll leave it a week. A week goes by and I'm like, can I do oleo? No. Why won't you let me do it? And he's like, I'm not having people come into the house. He said, you'll do a collection and then bugger off to bingo and leave me answering the door. I said, I swear to God, I said, I won't. You won't have to answer the door once. And he was like, no. Oh, so I was like, damn, what can I do? You know, I made him a few nice meals and buttered him up a bit. And then I was like, Warren, no. He said, I know what you're going to ask. I was like, let me do it. I said, please. I said, let me just do one. I said, and if it goes tits up, I swear I won't do another one. So, no. Next morning, he went to me, go on then. You do one. You do one. Go on. I was like, right, I will. So I signed up, did my training, looked on a thing. There was no collections available. A couple of days later, one popped up, so I grabbed it. It was a one-off. Went and done it, brought it back. And I literally got rid of everything bar... I think I was left with like 3 packets of rolls, which went the next morning. And I had literally taken 3 things from it, which was some cheese twists. I think it was a sprinkled donut that Dexter wanted and a baguette. That's all I kept. Like I say, I'm not doing it for me as in, oh, I'm going to get this food and keep the food and take the best stuff. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it to help out people that might really need this food, because so many people are at the supermarket, they're counting the money, they're on calculators, budgeting because they've got such a tight budget. And if people knew about this app, it would help them out so much. And if you know anyone who's in a situation where they need a bit of extra help, tell them about it. But like I say, the app is not basically for that. The app is for anyone. The sole purpose of the app, I am going to reiterate, is to save food waste. It's to stop everything that's going into landfill. And to think what goes into landfill is crazy. And I was blind to that. I had my blinkers on. Never even give it a second thought. But somebody I know that's doing it said that they picked up the other day 36 chickens. Yes, 36 chickens. So you would list these 36 chickens as one listing, and then you would put quantity 36. Now, if one person messaged you and said, oh, can I have the 36 chickens, please? You would say to them, sorry, I can't give you that many. And you would give them 1 or 2 chickens, you know. You can't give them it all. And if you do go on a haul one night and go around loads of people picking up absolutely loads of stuff, which is great, you're saving on food waste, you will get a message off Oleo. Not a horrible message, it's just a message basically saying it's a friendly reminder to make it fair, because you've had quite a few things this time. They just give you an hour's delay in seeing the listings. So if you did get, say you went out and had 12 things in one night, you just get a reminder that it's, and by having that hour's delay, it allows new people to then see the listing before you. So everyone gets a fair bite of the thing, you know. That's how they do it. But yeah, download it and have a look at it. Even if you don't want to use it, have a look and you might be interested. It might be one thing that pops up. And another thing, if you want something, you can go on there. There's a page for borrowing. So say somebody needs a step ladder. The other day, someone wanted a step ladder. They put an advert on and just said, oh, hi, has anyone got a step ladder I can borrow? And then people in your area will say, oh, I've got one, I can lend them. And you'll go on and say, yeah, I've got one, come and get it. And they've also got a bit for household stuff. So there's people on there giving away TV units, chairs, books. There was someone on there the other day giving away cooking books. I listed a load of stuff I wasn't using. Like I had a big massive basket full of half used makeup, shampoos. A lady come and pick them up. I give away hair straighteners. Absolutely no swapping is allowed. So you couldn't come to me and I give you a bag of carrots and you give me a bag of broccoli in exchange. Don't work like that. There's no swaps. And 100%, there's absolutely no money to be exchanged. You're not allowed to offer money for the stuff. You're not allowed to give money. It's absolutely 100% free. So, I think I've covered enough on that. If you want to know anything about it, just ask me in the comments. I'm going to continue at the moment while I can. I was just absolutely frigging knackered, and standing on my legs was murder. I can't stand, obviously, in queues and that because of my knees. So I'll have to get a little stool, sit on my breakfast bar stool and do it. But yeah, and everybody, there's so much, they do go on a lot about being respectful and being polite and stuff. Like if somebody messages and just says, I want that, it's a bit like, huh. And then you'll get the next person that will say to you, oh, hi, is it possible I could have that? I'd love to come and pick it up. And then you say, yeah, no problem. You know, they don't tolerate anyone that's rude. They don't tolerate no-shows either. So if you request a load of things and then you don't pick them up, obviously you've prevented someone else from having them because they might have been used by date one, so you then can't give them away the next day. They don't tolerate quite a few things, so you could get like kicked off if you're naughty. But yeah, there might be other random slots that come up if I'm not busy and I'll think, oh, I'll do that one and just go and get the stuff. But my kitchen has just turned into this huge food chamber a couple of nights a week. And Warren comes to the kitchen door and he opens the door and he's just like, oh my God, God help. But he's all right with me doing it now. He did have to hump a few boxes out of the car the other night because they were like full of potatoes and that, and I couldn't shift them. But yeah, it's a really good, is it a cause? Yeah, it's a good cause because you're stopping food being wasted. And to think the amount of money that you're picking up from these shops in the value of the food you're picking up. Because like some of the sandwiches, they're like £2.50 a sandwich. And some of the people that are picking up are getting like 20, 30 sandwiches. It's crazy. Even though the sandwiches are used by dates, I've picked them up off people, and the kids take them to school the next day in their sandwiches and they're fine, doesn't kill them. I've heard of people freezing sandwiches. Personally, freezing a sandwich for me is a bit like, it's a bit weird. Apparently, if there's no salad in it, you wouldn't freeze it if it's got a salad in it. However, saying that, if you had like a ham and cheese sandwich off someone, then I would put that in the freezer because then you could defrost that and make a toasty with it. You know, all these ideas. On the Olio page as well, there's a forum, and you can go on there, and a lot of people, even people that collect and people that are volunteers, say on there, thanks Olio, look at this I've made with my food waste collections. And somebody the other day put on this really nice looking butternut squash dish they'd made, and I just commented on it and said, oh, that looks lovely. And they'd made that totally free meal for them and their family that they'd made from food collections. So yes, I hope that's enlightened you. I was a bit like, oh, my heater's kicked in. You can tell it's cold. I was a bit like, oh, should I put it on YouTube? Should I not? And I was thinking, oh, is it supposed to be confidential? But it's not. So, and they keep pushing you on there. They keep coming up with messages to say, let more people know about it. And the more and more people that know about it, the more and more people that can collect the food and the less food waste there is. So yes, let's do this food waste prevention. And let me know if you've downloaded, let me know if you've used it. Some of you might be using it already. Some of you might even be volunteers. But yeah, let me know what you think and let me know how you get on with it if you do it. And yeah, that's my garble, and I've been talking for 30 minutes. So you're probably thinking, oh, for God's sake. Right, it's 11:45 now. Oh, somebody's coming in an hour. I need to brush my hair, put a bit of makeup on, and then I'll be going down my mum's I'm waiting for the text off the gas man. Oh. Right, I shall catch you in the next clip, guys. Don't forget, don't forget Olio. And I hope they provide matchsticks, because then I can use them for my eyes, because I'm friggin' knackered. I'll catch you for lunch next. Or unless I find something else to show you, and I'll put it in. Oh, and I've got you on Anna again. And Anna's very good. She's a very good tripod. I'll be using her most of the time, I think. See ya. I'm just doing a mushroom omelette for lunch. I've just used this pan. It's one of my new saucepans that don't have the handle on. It's got like one of these handles you put on. So I've done that on the top of the cooker, on the flame, and then I've just put this in the ice cool to brown off and melt the cheese on top. So this is my lunch. I've got the omelette, some sauce on the side. I'm also going to have this yogurt, and then this flour and white. So I will put the calories on screen. I'm having my dinner early, or my lunch early, because I might have to go down my mother's any minute. So that is what I'm having. And I will catch up with you in the next clip. So I've been waiting in all day. Waiting for British Gas to come to my mum's. And they've just cancelled. The guy rang and said they were struggling to get to us on time, because it was between 12 and 6. Now, being a customer service person, I know just how much stick you get on the phone. So I was like, oh, don't worry, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you want to rearrange it? And the relief you could hear in his voice when I said that. Bless him. He was like, oh, God, that'd be so helpful. Thanks, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so it's rearranged. There's me thinking, oh, I was going to say next week. 27th of February. It's like, Jesus Christ. Luckily, it's not an emergency, because her radiator's not working in a dining room. She doesn't use the dining room, so that's fine. She just wants it fixed, though. And a service, so there's probably people out there that haven't got any heating. So I was like, yeah, it's fine, no problem. So that's that. She's also just told me her hearing aid stopped working, so I've got to stop now on the way to school and change battery. My daily weigh-ins are going well. Especially this morning's one. I was like, sure, that's right. I got back on again and checked. It was. Hopefully that will stay there and not go back up. But yeah, I'm knackered. I've just been hoovering, and the mess the kids make. I tell you what, 3 boys, and the mess. Their bedrooms, it's just, I couldn't have had a girl in amongst them 3. But right, I'm going now, and I will catch up with you again in a bit. Dear Lord, this sun, my God. I've just got up at school and I'm trying out Anna on the steering wheel. Yes, Anna, my tripod. Would help if I could see mine. So, people probably think I've got some sort of speed camera set up here. You're perched on my steering wheel. It's good, you know, it's clamped it. Just wrapped it round, and all the beads have like clamped my steering wheel. So I've got a different angle of me now. Don't look any better in this angle, do I? Oh, the sun. Was it the sun would bugger off? Right. I'm going because I can't see. Just thought I'd come back on because I'm still sitting here. Just stopped at my mum's, and she was like, oh, do you want this picture of you and Warren? She said, I'm having a clear out. I was like, oh, cheers. Chuck me out now, is it? This is when I first met Warren, and he was wearing this jumper on our first date. And this top I'm wearing, I used to absolutely love it. I would always get it dry cleaned across the road from the hairdressers I was working in, and that's what I would wear out on a Saturday night. Looking at it now, it's like, what was I thinking? Are you ready? This was me when I first met Warren. How young we were. That's my mother's front room. Warren with his long curly hair. Soon cut that off, let me tell you. Yep, me and Wazza. 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Oh. Right, I am going now because I'm holding up a bag so the sun's staying off the camera. There's also this picture in the bag, and that's Mackenzie. And he was a baby. Look how sweet he was. He's 15 now, and he did like to have a bath up to the plug hole. He used to like to go for a swim rather than a bath. Oh, bless him. Oh, I need to drop that. I've taken my phone off the steering wheel now because the sun is still really bright. But yeah, oh, I love him. Right, see you in a bit. Kids have opened these that I had from Bingo. I've just weighed out those. 2 fudgy things, a refresher and a tiny little love hearts. 158 calories for that. So you can just imagine how much is in the whole box. So I'm going to have those. I'm going to do meat, potato and veg for tea. However, yeah, I'm going to start trying to use stuff out my freezer. So I've made everybody different food tonight, and I'm having this. It is a Farm Foods paella. It's 547 calories. It is quite a small bowl, but it will be ample. So that is what I'm having for my dinner. I'm just trying to get everything and everybody fed and the dishes done, so I'm ready to do my food collection later. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna have for my tea.
Guys, it's Dexter here. My mum's driving, and I've just come on now because I just want to tell you that we're going to go and pick up some surplus food from an express store, because we're basically going to pick up like food that is going to go in the bin. So basically, we're just on our way.
It's too good to go in the bin though, isn't it?
And we will see you later in the next clip. Bye.
What a nightmare I've had. Locked myself out of my Olio app, so I couldn't actually get on to read the messages, and you've got to wait for a message to confirm that you're actually picking the stuff up, because if there's no surplus food left for that day, then obviously you don't need to come and get it and distribute it out. So it was a nightmare. Just at the skin of my teeth I managed to get back in. It was an issue with my email. I was panicking because I didn't want to not turn up and then let people down that I hadn't picked it up, and then I didn't want to not pick it up and not be able to give it to people who maybe be relying on it, you know. But we're here, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we've got about 3 minutes now, and we'll go in because you don't want to go in too early.
I was just tired, so I just came in the back.
He's having a nana nap.
No, I'm not basically. I'm just having a bit of a sit around back here and moving around.
You just liking the fact that you're lying down on the seats?
I just like the fact that there's so much room.
No. Right, we're going to go in and load the car up and catch up with you in a bit. This is the worst part about doing this volunteering bit. I've gone in at 8:30 and he said, I can't let you have it until gone 9 o'clock. So I'm sitting here like I'm looking for business, you know. The cars going by, people walking by. How much longer have we got to wait? It is nearly 10 to 9.
Well, how long did they say?
He said go in at 9:05.
Well, it's 9:09.
Yes, I'll know next time. No, it's 9:48. I'm on your watch for Foxy. Right. It's freezing as well. Freezing. It's gotta be one of the worst ones to show you guys. Trust me to do it today. Had to wait all that time, went in, and all I got was 2 bags, and 1 bag was battens. I mean, it's good there wasn't waste, but it's a nightmare. I'll just show you. Things that I'm just in the middle of listing. Rolls. Got 2 of them. There's pastries there. Pan of chocolates there. Parsnips, basil, cinnamon pastries, all those sandwiches, bagels, single cream, Plant Chef wrap, some of that, coleslaw. This is what somebody's requested, so I'm just putting it all into one of the big bags. Someone's coming to pick all that up. All the stuff, that's all I'm keeping. Warren wants that for his lunch when he comes home from work, and that will go to my mum. I got all these rolls, look, all this bread, all these baguettes in there, and then there's rolls and stuff there. So it's hard work. So you can imagine when I've got a car full, it's absolute chaos here, so it's not too bad. I'm just going to list those last few things, and then I can breathe. But yeah, so it wasn't an ideal one to show you tonight because it wasn't that exciting. So, but you get the gist of it. The store gives the stuff to Olio. You pick it up as a volunteer, and then you list it, distribute it, and give it out, and that's it. So I'll catch you in a bit. My God, it's busy. Right, I had quite a few calories left, and I'm sitting down, and nobody's claimed. There's like a couple of minutes to go before you can't get rid of these anymore. And there's this sandwich left. So I'm going to have it. It's egg and cress. It's 350... see it? Can't even see straight there. No. It is 353 calories. I'm also having one of my flour and whites for 95. And I think I've got 65 calories left. So I'm done in. I'm going to go to bed. Well, actually, I'm not going to go to bed. Tomorrow, I'm taking my mum to Morrison's and I'm meeting my friend there. And that's about all I've got planned for tomorrow. So, yeah, I will catch you tomorrow. Bye, guys.